Unless you've been living under a rock, you have to have at least heard of the title Animal Farm. Or what about 1984? These are both literary classics, and the man who wrote them, George Orwell, an icon. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's rewind a bit. George Orwell was born in Montehill, Indiana on June 25th, 1903. About a year later, his mother brought him and his older sister to England. Orwell's father stayed in Indiana and rarely visited. As a result, the two of them never formed a strong bond. Orwell took up writing at the early age of 4. That's crazy. At that age, I think I was barely learning the alphabet. He had his first writing success at the age of 11, where his work got published in the local newspaper. He was a child prodigy. In 1911, Orwell attended St. Cyprian's boarding school. He was a good student and went on to win scholarships, allowing him to continue his education at Eton College. Unfortunately for Orwell, after Eton, his family could not afford to pay for his education anymore. Stumped, Orwell decided to join the Imperial Police Force in 1922. After resigning from the police force 5 years later, Orwell's writing career was slow to take off, and he struggled to make ends meet. He ended up taking all sorts of jobs, including being a dishwasher. After that, Orwell's life grew more and more sorrowful. In 1936, he fought in the Spanish Civil War, where he was badly injured. And in 1938, after his return to England, Orwell was officially diagnosed with tuberculosis, untreatable at the time. He suffered from this illness for the rest of his life. It wasn't until 1941 when Orwell finally got a break. He landed a job with the BBC as a producer. However, with World War II raging on, Orwell found himself acting as a propagandist to advance the country's national interest. Orwell grew exasperated with what the company was having him do and left the BBC in 1943. And finally, the height of his career, Orwell published one of his most famous books in 1945 and published another hit in 1949. A year later, he died of tuberculosis. George Orwell went on to become a literary figure, and even after his untimely death, his ideas and opinions remain prominent to this day.